Alright, what's up? Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first segment of the podcast. Name hasn't really been figured out yet, but I'm assuming that we're gonna go with something classy, like talking backward. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, something like
I
that.
think that'd be dope.
Yeah, there you go. So today, alongside is, of course, Cody. Cody's here, and
Well,
and we got Johnny Rex, John Full,
What's up, Johnny Waxsock?
Johnny Lax, because he's a big laxer.
No, don't you? Mm-mm. The only thing I have in common with those boys is dip.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Big old yappers.
Exactly, but I mean, basically, we're just here. We're just here to talk about a little bit of everything, a little bit of nothing, but just entertainment purposes. We're just kind of mix it up and see what kind of magic that we create for this kind of first pilot episode of this. So,
You had told me this was supposed to be like a PBS infomercial.
yeah.
We're gonna be.
Well, it is. I mean, but every good infomercial has a product, right? So, yeah. So, I don't know. So, how about we just give a little bit of background, a little bit about what everyone does and what your interests are, and kind of peek off of that. I can kick off. So I'm Drew. They call me Backwerd in the hood where I'm from, the hood of Corning, New York. You know how rough these streets are out here. I am a real estate agent. Shout out to buying and selling homes. But
Shout
I
out.
used to be a delivery driver man for a restaurant here in Corning, Mooney's, and when I left there, I got into the real estate game. But who cares about that? Honestly,
it's all the same game, man.
right? It's just about bumping and grinding your way to the top. That's the way it is. But I mean, before that, I've been a huge music guy for most of my life. I'd say probably almost half my life now. I started making music when I was 16 years old. I think it was junior year of high school, and started rapping and stuff with Audacity back on my crappy little desktop computer that couldn't run World of Warcraft. But
Drew, I can't believe you had the audacity to say the things you were saying out there, too, Drew.
dude,
Incredible.
I would never get away with it these days, dude. I was pretty raw. I was raunchy. It was not PC whatsoever. It was really. I look back, dude. It is the definition of cringeworthy, honestly. When I found that album this year, finally, after all these years of searching, and I went back and listened to it, I was like, wow, I can't believe I said all this stuff, and I actually put it out to public. So that it's probably going to have to be burned digitally, because if anyone ever got their hands on that, I'd be canceled.
Burn the witch.
But I've been making music, been doing rap since then. In 2016, the Royalties, my band, we were playing shows all the time. A couple of us moved away, made it a little more difficult for us to get together and practice and do shows, but I always kept up with rapping. Dropped my 5th album this year, Breaking Backwerd, on SoundCloud. That was a whole fun project. A lot of different emotions, a lot of different topics in that whole album. It was a lot of fun to record. But that's basically me. I'm a huge music guy, creating music history and people's names in the music field. I'm not too great with, just because I am not. I mean, there's no other reason. I'm just lazy. So, but creating music has always been my passion and dream, and I'm glad that I can kind of reintroduce myself to that with my new ways of recording and stuff. So it's a whole lot of fun, but I want to make content. I think overall content is what I love doing. So I just like making content, whether it's video or music or anything in between
What
those
about
two. Uh, I don't really get into that. I leave that to the professionals. Um, but you know.
Well, that album's fire. Check it out, people.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, that's basically me. Yeah, so whatever one of you two want to go next, just, talk about yourself.
You got it, Cody.
Hi, I'm John Yell. I like to. Oh wait, sorry, no, I screwed up already. Hi,
You bastard.
I'm Code. Yeah. I'm Code. I'm also known as Cake Boy in some situations. That is mostly because of my booty and my ability to produce the most delicious cake you've ever had in your life. I think the number one thing about me that everybody should know is I'm the biggest bullshitter you're ever gonna fucking meet. So you really have to read between the lines with me. So yeah, pay attention not to what I'm saying, but to how I'm feeling and the vibe that I project. So don't read too much into it, and you'll be better for it. As far as what I like to do, I like to communicate. I like to connect with people on a deep level, weird some people out, and it's great.
It is great.
Dude, it's all good vibes, though. I mean, I love it. You'll never have
you're
a
not
deeper
going and
conversation.
touching a butt or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. I mean, your conversations are deep, and it's actually meaningful, and it feels good. Honestly, it's better than your just basically bullshit conversation where you feel like you have to talk to somebody, but it's actually on a deeper level, which is nice.
It's like spiritual molestation, is basically when you connect with Cody.
John, that might be the best term I've ever heard for that. That's fucking spot on, brother.
He digs deep right into your pantalones and pulls out your.
Yeah, most likely you don't want it, but you're gonna get it anyways.
Right.
That's fair. I mean,
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have this ability to see the best in absolutely everybody, and I think people take that the wrong way. So.
Yeah, they definitely do.
It's just tough. So like what I'm realizing now is I need to be in a position where I can reach a larger volume of people, not talk to singular people, because I kind of get lost up in the message, and people kind of get confused by this signal,
And it's a shame because people just don't trust people, I guess.
Yeah, people don't trust us really, and that's kind of my fault too.
Fake or whatever you want to call it, but that's their problem.
I'm just a little bit lazy, to be honest. I got to tell a funny story real quick. This might encapsulate, a little bit of who I am. So, I forgot to give. Come on in, Paul. I forgot to give my landlord his Secret Santa gift probably like a year ago. So here. Oh, it's no secret now. So here I am, Paul. I'm actually making a podcast right now, and you just joined. You're our second guest. So
welcome, PT,
Pap.
little Paul Thomas.
Yeah, got Drew and John in here, but I'm gonna give you a hug, man. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, buddy. I know.
Podcast, guys.
Thanks, Pap.
You can't
Later.
beat the live interaction.
Yeah, it's my landlord, Paul Thomas. He's running for something. If you want to vote for him, go ahead, but I don't give a fuck, honestly.
He's running for something, man.
He's running for something.
Besides his life. I don't know.
He's running from that.
Now he's running.
He's scared. No, that's awesome.
All right, so that's me.
All right, little Johnny Rex. Little Johnny Rex.
What's up,
boy.
everybody? My name is John, also known as Johnny Rex. I'm a big car guy, and I love sports, and I love these boys that we're talking to. We go way back, and just wanted to bullshit and talk to you about things we feel strongly about. And I used to be a debt collector, so if you have any debts, let me know. I'll try to collect from you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you don't do that anymore, so I think you'd just be stealing from people at that point.
See, you're selling me out here.
Well, My
No, you're a
That's-
sellout, you debt collector.
That's shit.
Gosh, you guys.
So,
That's quick.
yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty simple guy. You know, I love to game. I love to and get money. And
Oh. Okay. All right.
yeah, music I love. I love old school rap, and new school rap basically is literally just Kendrick and J. Cole. That's about it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
couldn't tell
everything
by
else
your
is pretty
whole
worth.
get money comment
Yeah.
you just made. Was
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
That's
that
very.
just
did
came
you
off
get
the
that
cuff.
from
I've
somewhere?
never heard
that was
before.
original. That was
Yeah,
that
I
was all
thought-
you.
That's very.
Yeah,
That's
never-
very new school of you. Very
Yeah,
new
that's new
school.
school for
That's
sure.
very
That is
new
new
school
school.
rap for you.
Shit.
That's not really you. I'm surprised that came out.
I'm just feeling froggy, you know. My testosterone levels are raised
Oh.
because I just got done at the gym, and
There you go.
my is pretty flaccid.
Oh.
Dude,
So
Wow.
that's so funny. Do you
I'm
remember
feeling
that,
good.
Drew? Do you remember Hunk of Love?
Hunk of
you remember-
love.
Do you remember Hunk of Love at West High School?
Yes, I do.
Did you happen to go? I think it was
Danny
our junior
Galvin.
year.
Was that
Yes,
the Danny
you were
Galvin
there.
year? I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember I think I forget who it was, but somebody was up there and they made a comment and they asked how they were feeling and they said and then one of the responses of one of the hunks was I'm feeling pretty flaccid right now. And
I don't-
gosh, I laughed so
You know.
hard, but everybody else in there was just like,
Yeah, a little odd. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like
it's such
Now-
a good word.
the thing is, it is, but I don't know if that was even the word that they were trying to use, or they thought it was a different word.
exactly.
Because I feel like that's it. Because that's pretty ballsy, like no pun intended. That's pretty ballsy to say in front of a crowd of parents and
Yeah.
and peers. It's if you know what that word means. If you don't and you think it's another word, I can understand where your confidence would
Well, I
not
think
really matter. But
If you're not referring to your right, like
I
it
mean,
means that you're just you're feeling laid back and chill, and
well, maybe, but I at the same time that's where the mind goes to first. I think in most cases when that word's used.
well, you weirdos. My mind didn't go to that.
Weren't you just the person talking about these
No.
getting money and you
Maybe.
didn't you bring up
Prove
the
it.
word in the first place?
Maybe.
No, John, I had to look it up, and I will have to tell you, man, you are absolutely correct. It is an adjective, but I don't think it has to necessarily pertain to the sexual organ there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's
a
funny
dope
because
word.
it is. I think it actually encapsulated what was going on there in that moment because he was actually one of the seniors, and I think both the juniors and the sophomores had outshined them. So his response was, and being a hunk of love, flaccid, I think in both parts of the word, he was spot on, but nobody seemed to understand at that time.
Yep, because all their minds were in the gutter. Those sexual pterosaurus
Exactly.
rexes.
People didn't know how to answer it. It was almost like he was the measuring stick of the of the fucking audience there.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, overall, I think it was there could have been a better word. But honestly, it made the whole
Yeah, you're definitely right.
it made it all better though. I mean, it was funny. It was
That does sound hilarious.
it's one and it was one of those like events that you put on that's exactly what you wanted. You wanted like that kind of witty humor, and so that was it all worked out. That was funny.
You mean that sexual humor?
But yeah, I mean that's cool. So let's talk a little bit about let's do a little bit of music. Let's talk about some music here since we were
Hell yeah.
so what I know personally I'm into, some of this I'm not going to even say new hip hop, but I'm going to say I guess I call it smart rap. I don't know what
Conscious rap.
Conscious rap, yeah. Either or, however you want to phrase it. But that's to me what rap was supposed to be. But this mumble jumbo crap that comes out now is just kind of killing the whole category.
It is. I mean, thankfully we have saviors, you know.
Right, and there's artists who still consciously do it, and they do a good job of doing it. But I feel like the recognition, still, for most of these artists, are their one hit. I guess you call them club music, club
Right.
songs that they have to do, because if they don't, their album's
You
probably
got to
gonna
make
fail.
money.
Right. So it's unfortunate, but every
Could,
every artist who's conscious and is able to string some really clever wordplay, and they all have to do it.
can I say something real quick, Drew?
Yeah.
Um, so the reason we're talking more on the hip hop rap side of things is because I'm not as well versed, I guess, in the rock and roll and classic rock, and as these boys are, these guys, they know a lot about that, and I couldn't keep up, so they're being
Well,
generous here and talking about rap.
You're fine. I mean, I started with that because I know that that's your category. I did that on purpose.
Oh,
But then, because Cody obviously listens to a whole bunch of different genres, so Cody can talk all day on pretty much any other. Well, I mean, he listens to hip hop too, but like, there's a lot of variety that we can dive into. So I just wanted to start.
I mean,
with
you guys made music, yeah.
I mean,
You guys didn't even mention how you play multiple instruments as well.
yeah, we do.
I only play one.
Yeah,
Oh.
I play. Yeah.
Skin flute.
Yeah, but
PC, John. You don't want to get canceled, baby. Come on.
No, man. I'm thinking. I mean, I play guitar like a little bit. I play a little tiny little bit of piano. You ever did see? The ukulele, or as I like to call it, the drookulele.
There we go.
yeah.
And then I obviously sing and rap and yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I rap too.
trumpet.
It's the only thing I've really created, Like, I mean, Kadi and I, we've done a couple of songs together, but like Drew, like we've made raps together, and it's like that's really the only way that we've connected musically.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it is very relevant. The hip hop, I've actually been getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to hip hop shows and like been mind blown at, as much as I have at a rock and roll concert. You know what I mean? Like there is
Right.
no separation for me.
Yeah.
And like if you look at the universe, like if you look at universe, literally, it's one song. That's what universe means. So whether
Right.
we're talking about hip hop, rock and roll, whatever, it's all one thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
If it's good, it's gonna.
Exactly.
It's
If it's
good.
good, it's good.
Yeah, and you know what I've noticed, and kind of recently, but also because I've been watching a lot of Kill Tony with the boys. I love Kill
Ooh.
Tony. If you haven't checked out
Yeah,
Kill
thanks for
Tony,
Shout out
Thank-
Kill Tony,
Dude, I
yeah.
popped in.
Yeah.
I popped in.
Tony Hinchcliffe
yeah,
and
dude, Tony Hinchcliffe and
That's
Redman
good shit.
and the guests that are on there, dude. Hans Kim, of course, William Montgomery, just hilarious people, dude. But the more and more I watch it, because it ties in, because music and comedy have a very similar aspect, is to where there can be music or songs from a particular artist that you don't necessarily care for, but the way that they entertain and put on a show can still make that show incredible to you.
yeah.
And the way I see that is with comedy. There is some people that you could take their jokes that are funny and give them to a different comedian, and it wouldn't be funny. It's the way that the comedian themselves are performing it.
Yeah. It's artistry. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, Hans Kim on Kill Tony does that, I feel, or not Hans, but William Montgomery, he does that on Kill Tony. A lot of his jokes wouldn't be as funny, but the way he talks and the way that he presents it is hilarious. Another
It's
person
genius, yeah.
in the comedy field that was like that was Mitch Hedberg. If you've ever seen any of Mitch Hedberg stuff, his jokes weren't necessarily the funniest, but it's the way that he presented them. It was just hilarious. And so that with music is the same way. Like there's definitely, like country, for example, I'm not the biggest country guy, but there's the performances and how they sound live. Most country artists are incredible live.
Yeah, they definitely are.
They're very, very good. So
They're not production heavy, right? They're just
right,
the guitar and their voice. I mean,
right.
that is impressive.
I mean, yeah. It's funny how the way it's done is just as important as what's being done. To me. Yeah.
So to go back to the rap, I mean, what's why don't we give the people like our top three? You know, put each other on the spot here.
Top three.
Oh, sure.
Top three hip hop.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really. I mean, I know your favorites, like all time, but not your
Okay.
second or third or.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, see, and that's the thing with me. I mean, these guys know, but I'm gonna make people mad by saying this, but I do not like Tupac and I do not like Biggie Smalls.
Which is insane.
I never have, and I can get into arguments about it all day. And I think that mainly because I don't really like that. To me, I don't like that gangster type rap or that not that because I think it's bad, but it's because I can't relate to it. And when I listen to rap, I like to be able to relate or find something clever that they've done like creatively in their verses and stuff. And so to me, it was always hard for me to like listen and really care about what's going on there, which isn't fair to me to say that they're not good because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I just don't relate. And so I don't care to listen to their music,
right.
But
so now that that's out of the way,
top three. Okay, well, I'm gonna start with number. I know one, and you guys know what I'm gonna say for one. So I'm gonna start with three, I guess. I don't even know if I could put them in order. To be honest with you, I can just give you the three.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hobson. I think
Yep.
I think Hobson is absolutely incredible.
Very underrated.
He's underrated, and he pulls from his life, and to me that's amazing. Now, like I said, I can't necessarily relate to it, but the way that he does it creatively is so captivating to me that I can stick with it and listen to the whole thing, and it's I don't know, I just love his music. Gosh. I'm gonna say my top one is my top person's always probably gonna be Lil Dicky, Dave Bird. I think that he's
Shout out Dave Bird.
Dude, I think that he is incredibly talented, not only rapping but also with his show, and basically all of his content is just so meticulously thought out, and it's done so well, and he thinks about every aspect of the project that he's working on. Now I am pissed because it's been 7 years since he's dropped an album, and all of his fans are the same way, like, dude, drop an album. But I know he's doing a lot. It's what it is. But I just think that his music is so much deeper than people give him credit for. And he jokes about that all the time too. Like, oh, I'm just a comedy rapper. I'm just a funny guy. People kind of relate him to Lonely Island and shit. And that's not what he does. But
which that could be why it's taken him so long, because he's really trying to have more to say that people be like, oh shit, okay, he's not just trying to be funny.
Right. But I don't know. I just love him. If you haven't checked out Professional Rapper, his album that he dropped in 2015, you need to check that out because it's got a lot of good tunes on it, and they're funny, but they really show his skill in rapping too.
If you like lyrics, for sure.
Yeah. And then I guess another one that I'd put on there, gosh, and this is going to be probably strict nostalgia for me, but an artist that's really, like, I guess gave me inspiration and I really dug me deeper into rap was like Gambino.
Yeah, of course.
Donald Glover. When he dropped Freaks and Geeks, I remember watching that. I think it was like 2011. when he dropped Freaks and Geeks, dude, that song was so good, and he was just going off, and he's kind of the same way as Dave. Like he was a writer for 30 Rock. Like that was his job. Like he wrote on the show, and he just kind of started. I mean, he's been rapping since college and stuff, but he's just so creative on both ends of that, where he's like writing for a show, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm also a rapper, I write for this. Oh yeah, he's also a director, he's also, he does it all. And
super talented.
Yeah, and to have that kind of creativity is just wild. I mean, not a lot of musicians and artists can kind of cover all the floors. It's just like the same with actors. When actors can direct and obviously Gambino was Simba in The Lion King. Like, how cool is that? That's pretty sweet. He got to partner up with Beyonce.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. But
yeah, people don't know that.
I'm not saying they're the top 3 rappers of all time, but they're 3 rappers that have really stood out to me and captured me.
Need more respect for sure.
I think so.
You don't get mentioned a lot, but
yeah, I mean, they stand out for you, Drew, because you're multi-talented too. You have a lot of these
Right.
different skills as well.
right.
Well,
I mean, it's no surprise.
And I mean, I think maybe that was, they could have definitely brought that out. Like, I mean, Dave was later
Yeah.
on that I started listening to, but the other 2 I've been listening to for a while, and I think that maybe I relate to wanting more than just to be like a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? I want this skill,
Yeah.
I want this skill, I want to go for this, I want to go for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's apparent. We're here right now, doing this,
Right.
creating content, just like you said, and it's like,
Right.
right after this, you might, go straight to the pen and paper and be writing a rap or whatever, and then you're recording a video. Like, it's just like you do all those different things, and they kind of just like springboard one to another, man. It's just like you keep the ball rolling.
Right, and I think it's just the best way for content. I mean, if anything goes stale in your head, then and that's the one thing too about having that content is if you let it sit, it goes bad, and if you try to force it, it goes bad. So it's all about finding the right time and knowing to pay attention to what you're working on and what's floating around in your head. But
Timing.
everything.
Wow, John.
Very good.
John,
Very good.
did you?
Yes.
Do we even need to talk about your top 3, or is that just like too obvious?
Well, I mean, number 1 should be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
All right, then start at 3.
So, my third is Ice Cube.
Wow.
Okay.
He really,
Didn't see that coming.
he started my love. And yes, I understand. I definitely can't relate to his music, but in a way you can, because we're all under the struggle, right? None of us are the 1%, right? And he wasn't either back then.
Right.
So in a way, we all are able to relate as, the man tries to push us down. But yeah, he really, his wordplay, his simple rhyme schemes, but still being able to deliver on. I mean, he's considered one of the best, one of the godfathers, and he really started my love for it. And then that grew into Tupac, and then into Kendrick ultimately. That I just think Kendrick's the best, obviously, but the second one is the one I have trouble with, because there's a lot that I really like, and I think if you had to pull my arm, so I guess it'd be Kendrick and Ice Cube, but then the third one is where I'm struggling. But I would say it's probably Eminem. It's got to be Eminem.
There we
He's
go.
just he's the white hope, He showed that a white man can come in and contribute something as well. Obviously, he hasn't had the best projects recently,
Yeah,
but
I don't think it's so much about him being white. It's just like coming into a situation where you're you're an outlier. You're the underdog. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, people kind of look past you.
already write
They
you
look
off.
down on you. Yeah, exactly. They write you off, and he kind of showed everybody, like, don't do that.
Right. He's amazing. So yeah, those 3 guys definitely yeah. I mean, they're the reason I still give other artists a chance, like the J. Cole's and the, you know, um, that's I drawing a blank, but yeah, those are the three
Wow.
main guys for me.
Wow, John. Well, segue right into mine. J. Cole is on my list for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
I got the chance to see him on his KOD tour, and
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, it really was. Ended up being album of the year, so it was kind of serendipitous for me to go see that live. With a couple of good friends of mine, and yeah, for it to really sink in like that, and it's a very beautiful message. Kill our demons. Like, it's something that I think resonated with me, and seeing it live, and also. Um, when you see a rapper slash hip hop artist using real instruments, like real guitar, you got
Yeah.
real musicians there putting it on. There's not a recording, there's no backing track. It's raw, it's real, it's in the moment. That's the shit that really gets you going.
Yep.
To follow that up, Anderson .Paak.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's one of the few who can really bridge the gap between hip hop, rap, rock and roll, and he did that with his band. And I also got the chance to see him live, and it blew my mind. And for my number one, I'm gonna go Lupe Fiasco.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I would have figured.
Lupe's
Mural.
Mural. Enough said.
Food and liquor,
Yep.
dude.
Food and liquor. Yep. The Cool. Yep.
Cool.
He's
Lasers
super
even.
underrated. Yeah, Lasers for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lasers
He's-
for sure.
He's never mentioned any like, and he should be because yeah. I actually just watched shout out NFR podcast. Those guys are really good. They know their stuff, but they just did a video on who they thought was the best rapper of all time, and Lupe was one of those that was considered, and that was really nice to see.
No, dude, that's awesome.
Honorable mention to Hove, real quick. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
Gotta give some love to
H7.
Hove.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude.
And Nas of course too.
Yeah, don't forget
Album
those two
Noir,
battle.
dude. The Black Album.
Yep, they're
Great.
legends, living legends.
Shouts out to Rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have them.
Dude, all those great picks, honestly. They've all definitely done something for the game and bring it in a different way, and you got to respect that. There's definitely different ways that they could have approached it, but they chose their own path, got there their own way, and made a stamp for themselves, which is really, really cool. So, good stuff. I like it, boys.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't
we
go
out
wrong.
here.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with music conversations. But so no, I mean that's great, guys. I mean I don't know about you guys. I love what we have here for a pilot right now. We're a little over 30 minutes, which is awesome. I didn't know how long we were gonna go for, which is cool.
Dude, I only had to pee in the bottle once, man.
Dude,
We're good.
exactly.
Nice.
So, shout out to our sponsor real quick, Sandwich Fingers. Sandwich Fingers has been around since 2022, and they've been making your cuisines by hand for that long. So, shout out to them. Also, don't forget about TikTok. Not a sponsor, but that's a platform. So
fuck TikTok. Shouts out to The Office on Market Street.
Dude,
Thank you for Dan for planting the seed.
And dude, let's talk about Dan Wilcox real quick, because I feel like I have to. Dan Wilcox is the owner of The Office on Market Street here in Corning, New York, and we had a really good talk in Miami about trying to decide what I want to do with life. And Dan's just a good guy, and he talks to you, and he wants to help you figure out, things about your life and what you want to do. And he pitched this idea and said, this would be awesome for you if you did something like this. So he's one of the most genuine people you'll ever meet. He's a good dude. He likes to have fun, and I love him dearly. So shout out to Dan for pitching the idea and thinking that it would be a success. So and who knows, maybe in some upcoming episodes we'll go live from the office. That'd be pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
Have some brewskis, have Dan on, Dan on the show to talk a little bit about him because he's an interesting feller
Indeed.
with a lot to say. So
Michelob on tap.
yeah, Mick, oh, I wish Dan's he's too sophisticated for that. Come on, man, you know Dan.
Oh, dang
He's
it.
got
Whoa,
those.
whoa! Dan's not a snob, bro.
He's not
Get down and dirty.
He's not a snob, no, but he's not good. He's not gonna have Michelob on draft. But that Myers Creek that he had, dude, I still stand by that, dude. That was the best draft beer. Well, one of the best draft beers I've ever had. So
Wow.
he's got to get that back. That was so good. Shout out to Meyer Creek, wherever you're from. That stuff, you are doing it right. But anywho, thanks guys for listening to our first episode. Kind of improvised here, just kind of talking about the stuff we know and love. So if you like what we're doing here, drop a like, hit a little bit of a subscribe. And we do appreciate you listening. I know it's 30 plus minutes and we might have lost some of you on the way, but the ones who stuck it out, you guys are true champions, so we appreciate it. And you guys want to say anything before we peace out?
Well, let's keep her going. You know, there's a lot to talk about in the world today.
Yeah.
And people want to listen.
Yeah.
Gotta have something to say, though, but yeah.
Absolutely. You got anything, Code?
Peace, love, and hugs, man.
Peace, love, and
What's up?
hugs. All right, guys. Thanks for listening once again. We'll catch you on the next one. Backwerd.
Signing out.